right, so let's dive into functional blood chemistry analysis, or FBCA as we call it. It's a diagnostic approach that looks at blood test results through narrower, more optimal reference ranges than what conventional blood tests use. The idea is to catch early imbalances, subtle little signs your body gives you before they snowball into bigger problems.
Narrower ranges. That sounds like a more, proactive way to approach things.
Exactly, Eric. Proactive is the perfect word. Take conventional blood tests. They rely on broader ranges that, frankly, are based on statistical averages from the general population. But, and here's the kicker, just because you fall within those averages doesn't mean you're at optimal health. With FBCA, we're not just looking at whether you're okay by population standards, but rather, are you truly functioning at your best?
Got it. So what kinds of issues can FBCA actually pick up early?
Great question. FBCA can highlight patterns that point to chronic inflammation, hormone imbalances, metabolic irregularities, things like early blood sugar dysfunction or even nutrient deficiencies. Catching these early means you can address them before they become full-blown health crises.
And by full-blown, you mean things like diabetes, chronic fatigue, stuff that's life-altering?
Absolutely. That's where FBCA really shines. I had this one patient, for example. Let's call her Sarah. She came to me with vague symptoms, fatigue, brain fog, some digestive upset, nothing that stood out on traditional tests. But using FBCA, we spotted subtle inflammation markers, early blood sugar dysregulation, and low iron levels, things conventional testing had missed entirely.
Wow, and what did you do for Sarah?
Well, once we identified the imbalances, we could put together a plan tailored just for her. We adjusted her diet, added some targeted supplements, and worked in stress management techniques. Within a few months, her energy was back, her brain fog cleared, and she felt like herself. Again, it's incredible what a little early detection can do.
It sounds like a complete game changer.
It really is, Eric. And the best part, you're not just managing symptoms, you're getting to the root cause of what's going on.
It's amazing to hear how FBCA isn't just about managing symptoms, but really getting to the root cause. So, Dr. Hoover, how does it go beyond just detection to truly optimize health? What's the secret sauce?
Well, the beauty of FBCA is how comprehensive it is. It doesn't just give you one or two snippets of your health story, it's more like the whole novel. You're looking at how different systems in the body interact, organ function, metabolic efficiency, even nutrient levels. It's like piecing together a puzzle to see what's truly going on beneath the surface.
Aha! So it's really about seeing the big picture.
Exactly, Eric. And that big picture gets even clearer when you factor in personal details, your genetics, your lifestyle habits, even the environment you're living in. All of these things influence your health landscape. So instead of a one-size-fits-all approach, we can personalize recommendations to match your unique needs.
Okay, but give me an example here. What kind of changes do you actually recommend based on these results?
Great question. After we analyze someone's blood work through FBCA, it could lead to any number of interventions, really. For instance, if we uncover nutrient deficiencies, say low vitamin D or magnesium, we might recommend specific supplementation. Or if the results suggest chronic inflammation, we might adjust their diet to reduce pro-inflammatory foods, add in some omega-3s and maybe some mindfulness exercises to tackle stress.
And these changes work for anyone? Or are we talking specific groups?
Honestly, it's effective across the board. Whether it's a busy professional looking to maintain peak performance or an older adult aiming to prevent chronic issues as they age, FBCA tailors solutions to fit. One size does not fit all, and that's where this really excels. It respects your individuality.
That sounds incredible. I mean, who wouldn't want something tailored to their specific needs?
Exactly. And the coolest part? It's not about creating drastic, life-overhauling changes. Most of the time, it's about fine-tuning what you're already doing. A small nudge in the right direction can have a huge impact on health outcomes.
Dr. Hoover, you've made it sound like FBCA is the ultimate tool for personalizing health. But let's take a step back for a moment. What about the criticisms? I mean, not everyone seems on board with this approach.
Great point, Eric. And it's true, FBCA does face some pushback. A lot of it boils down to things like the variability in the so-called optimal versus normal ranges. You see, the critics argue that these narrower functional ranges might not always be that much better than traditional ones. And honestly, if you don't have the right training, interpreting these results can be like throwing darts in the dark.
Okay, that's concerning. So who exactly is doing this interpreting? I imagine that matters a lot.
You nailed it. That's where you have to be cautious. Unfortunately, you've got folks who, let's say, lack the proper credentials and/or training, and that can lead to, well, misdiagnoses or even treatments you don't actually need. It's a slippery slope if professionals aren't properly trained in functional medicine or if the findings aren't integrated into a broader healthcare plan.
Basically, there's the risk of making mountains out of molehills.
Exactly. And get this, it's not just about what the lab results say, it's also about understanding the context of those results. This is where being a qualified practitioner really matters. You've got to connect the dots between the numbers on paper and what's actually happening with the patient.
So for our listeners, what should they be looking out for if they're considering FBCA?
Well, for starters, make sure you're working with someone who's properly trained and qualified, ideally a licensed healthcare professional with functional medicine expertise. Don't just go to anyone offering these tests, especially if they're not transparent about their credentials. And really, it's about asking questions. You want someone who collaborates with you and sees the bigger picture of your health, not just someone selling you supplements left and right.
So in other words, do your homework.
Absolutely, Eric. Be proactive, be informed, and don't be afraid to get a second opinion if something doesn't sit right with you.
Fair enough. So it sounds like FBCA has a lot to offer, but only when it's used ethically and by the right professionals.
You said it. It's an incredible tool when it's in the right hands. It's all about combining the science with real-world application, and that's where experience and ethics come into play. You can't just focus on the numbers, you've got to focus on the person.
Well, Dr. Hoover, this has been eye-opening. I think there's a lot for people to think about here.
It's been great chatting, Eric, and for everyone listening, remember, your health is your responsibility, but you don't have to go it alone. Find a good team who's going to support you in building that strong foundation for your health. If you are interested in learning more about functional blood chemistry analysis, please visit fbca.me. That's fbca.me to learn more or order your analysis today.
And on that note, we'll wrap things up for today. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time. And remember to learn more at fbca.me.